Afternoon, Miss Ellis.
Hey there, how you doing?
You like to be called Ellis or Mr. Roberts?
Ellis.
Okay. Well, tell me why you here today.
Well, I'm here today because lately I've been feeling down, depressed, not feeling my normal self.
Normal self.
Yeah.
What is like your normal self?
My normal self is I'm more of an outgoing person, but lately, by me feeling so down, I decided to stay in my room a lot.
Stay in your room a lot?
Yeah.
You stay isolated a lot? How long? Stay in your room all day?
I come out and check around the house, see what everybody's doing, and I go back to my room. I feel better in my room, closed away from everybody.
You try antisocial or you just like being in your room? When did this start?
It's been going like this for a couple of days now. I decided to just stay in my room. I always hear that old saying, misery loves company, but when I don't feel good, I don't want nobody around me and I don't want to be around nobody.
You don't want to be around people?
No.
Well, don't you have family members that live with you?
Yeah, I have my son and my daughter. They're adults, but I try to give them their space and not impose my issues on them.
How do they feel about that?
Well, they try to talk to me and they try to uplift my spirits, but they also respect the fact that when I go in my room and close my door, they know that I really just don't want to be bothered.
So, you just go in and close. How you feel when you do this in closing the door?
I feel like I'm getting away from the world. I don't want to be out there because there's a trust issue as far as being around people. I don't trust a whole lot of people anymore. So when I close myself in, it's just me and my thoughts.
Not trusting people.
Right.
How did that come about, not trusting people?
That came about a while back when I was married. I was married for 17 years. And I gave all my trust, I opened my heart and everything else to my spouse at the time. And when that ended after 17 years, after placing that much trust in someone, I decided to keep my trust to myself, not trust too many people.
Not trusting.
Yeah, that way I can hold my thoughts in. Nobody can use what I've said against me later on, like my ex-wife did. So therefore, by going through that experience there, I would never give nobody that opportunity or get that close to me again.
Okay, I'd like to talk about that. People not getting close to you and you not getting close to people.
Yeah. Well, my ex-wife taught me a valuable lesson. She told me on courthouse steps that once we had divorced and we was leaving the courthouse and everything was finalized, she told me she would be my worst enemy, and she have lived up to that. So therefore, putting all that trust in somebody that you once loved, it makes you distrust people, and it makes you want to ask, what is their motives? Like, why do you care, or what are you trying to find out about me?
And so, you isolate yourself from people.
Yes. Lately I have been isolated because I just, like I said, misery loves company, and I prefer to be by myself. That way no one is around me, and I just have me, myself, and my thoughts.
Okay. You like to be by yourself.
Yes.
You don't like to be around other people.
Right.
And because you've been hurt.
Yes.
And have a trust issue
Yes.
with other people.
And lately, like I said earlier, I just haven't been feeling myself the happy type of person that likes to be around people and laugh and talk. I just haven't been feeling like that lately. So when I get into that mode, I just close down.
Okay. Let's talk about when you get into that mode. How does it feel? What take place when you begin to feel like that and want to isolate yourself?
What takes place
Yeah.
to get me to
What
that?
leads you to this?
I don't know. The past couple of days, I just haven't been feeling myself. Haven't had the appetite I normally would have. Haven't had the desire to be around people. I just haven't had that desire. I feel better from people, and my kids, they're telling me that I'm in a withdrawal stage. But in my withdrawal stage, I don't feel like I'm bringing nobody else down. I don't want to put my problems on my kids, so therefore I take my problems to my room and close the door.
Okay.
And the only one that's going to hurt is me.
Okay. What feelings are you emotionally feeling? Sad?
Yeah, sometimes I think about my dad. He passed a couple of years ago, 2010. He was 93 years old. And he was my best friend, and I was able to talk with him about things that I couldn't talk to other people about. So once he passed, I went into a depression then. I had to go see a doctor, and they gave me some depression medicine. And there's times I just get tired of taking medicine. I don't want to be always taking medicine.
So let me see. So you feel anxious at times.
Yes,
You
fear.
want to feel withdrawn and isolated and depressed.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this here. What had led, how long has this been going on?
For this time frame, past couple of days, but this has been going on for quite a while now, especially after my dad passed. And when I feel down and low, I just isolate. I get away from everybody.
What's your
Because I don't know how people is perceiving me, and it's like everybody's talking about me, and so for me not to feel that way, I just close myself off.
Was your father real close? You and your father close?
Yes.
How did it feel? How did you feel when he passed? Did you feel?
I felt like I lost my best friend. I felt like I really couldn't talk to anyone no more because my father passed after my divorce. That was the first thing that had me feeling that way. But after my dad died, then that was another thing altogether. So I don't really befriend people like I used to.
So after your divorce, and then how long was it before your father passed after the divorce?
It was about 7 years.
7 years. So during this therapy session and throughout the other therapy session, what goals are you have in mind? How do you feel this therapy session will help you? What goals do you have?
Well, my
Immediate goals.
The first thing I would say would probably be trust, and I probably would start with my kids first if I'm to set any goals, because they are my primary reason for living right now, and I don't want to hurt them. I want to be able to communicate with them, but right now I just don't feel like they understand that trust issue I have. So I don't want them to be hurt by that. So
Okay, so when you say trust is your goal, what do you mean by your family trusting you, or you trusting people, or you just want your family trust first?
right, my kids, like I said, they're my primary reason for living. So I would say my family.
You want your family trust.
Right.
Oh, that's a wonderful goal starting out. Getting your family trust. But let me ask you one thing before we close this session here.
Okay.
Would you be willing to work between our next visit on that trust issue concerning your family? Would you be willing to work next week to gain the trust of your family by not staying in the room and talking, and we start back next week and talk about that?
Yes, I could. It'd be best I start off trusting or trying to trust someone, my family first. And I wouldn't mind another visit with you as long as I know that our visit is going to be confidential and what we discuss in this office today stays in this office.
Yes. So you're willing to work on that there.
Yes.
And we want to, you know, create a trust with one another,
All right.
which would be wonderful. I think it would help in the therapy if you could feel like you wanted to talk. And I want to let you know you could talk to me
I
about
appreciate that.
anything here.
Okay.
And I want to thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for taking the time to see me.
Thank you so much, Mr.
All
Ross.
right.
We'll
All right.
see you next week.
Okay.